Welcome, everyone, to the Forensic Investigator podcast, hosted by Dr. Jim. Today's topic is updates. Keep in mind that this entire process of podcasting is new to me and is always a work in progress. And while I have decades of experience in conducting training for law enforcement and speaking at public events on these same very topics, especially homicide and cold cases, I make mistakes like everyone else. Today, though, I want to provide you with an update of the upcoming episodes over the next 2 months. Starting with, on April 8th, a couple of days away, Detective as a First Responder. The podcast episode features an in-depth discussion with Jim Holmes, a retired special agent from the Wisconsin Attorney General's office who has extensive experience in death investigations. The conversation covers the critical role of the first detective at a crime scene, with an emphasis of treating all deaths as homicides until proven otherwise. The suggestion of having mandatory autopsy for suspicious child deaths, the utilization of victimology and timeline building, information about the impact of technology on investigations, and the significance of having homicide guidelines. Jim's insights provide valuable knowledge for forensic investigators and law enforcement professionals. The takeaways: all death investigations should be treated as homicides until proven otherwise. And the role of the first detective at a crime scene is critical to the success rates. On April 22nd, we're going to talk about the role of evidence in forensic investigations. And this will talk about the critical role that it plays for all of these investigations, highlighting its significance in identifying suspects, establishing connections, and reconstructing events. It also explores the influence of Sherlock Holmes on modern forensic science, Locard's principle of exchange, linkage in criminal investigations, crime scene reconstruction, and the challenges in forensic evidence interpretation. The takeaways emphasize the importance of the role of forensic evidence in these investigations and the influence of Sherlock Holmes on forensic science. Then, on May 6th, approximately, I'm going to have CSI and the scientific method. CSI referring to crime scene investigation. In this episode, I host a detailed discussion with forensic and crime scene expert Grant Graham on the utilization of the scientific method in crime scene investigation. It will explore how organized, bias-free analysis applies from simple everyday problems to complex forensic issues, including blood-stain pattern analysis and shooting reconstruction. The key takeaways are the importance of the scientific method in forensics, especially crime scene analysis and reconstruction, and a little bit into the concept of staged crime scenes. Later on in May, I'm going to talk about the death investigation system in America. U.S. homicide solve rates have steadily declined for decades despite major investigative and forensic advances, and where, since 1980, we have over 300,000 homicides that remain unresolved nationwide. This podcast outlines the fragmented structure of the system, which varies by jurisdiction and is carried out through the coroner, the medical examiner, or hybrid models, all hopefully working alongside law enforcement. It emphasizes the need for consistent information sharing and collaboration between police and medical legal authorities to ensure accurate classifications of death are made that will maximize the investigative outcomes. Then on June 3rd, we're going to talk about child abuse investigations. And in this session, I will interview Don Hayden, a seasoned forensic expert regarding child abuse, including medical legal issues like SIDS and shaken baby syndrome. This podcast will emphasize the importance of thorough, system-based approaches in these very delicate forensic investigations. Now, that is a quick synopsis of forthcoming episodes. As usual, should you have any suggestions on how to make this podcast better or have questions about any of the forensic specialties mentioned, please do not hesitate to contact me at jma.forensicinvestigator@gmail.com, or you can go to my website at www.jma4ensics.com. Goodbye, everybody, and enjoy.